Well, I'm live once again. I know that now I've learned my problem with the audio, and so now there will not be any problems today. We're waiting on Mike, and I'm so excited because Mike is continuing to draw crowds. And I want to say that also had a great call from Rob Adams this morning, talking about the stuff that he's doing, and maybe even a little announcement coming up. And so fun to see the even the 2 weeks that we've had together, how the stuff is all coming together. And so let's take a minute while we're waiting and just say that I loved the interview with Colton Vaught last night. Loved his, talking about the names and everything else. Loved Daniel Johnson yesterday. So wonderful also. So it's been kind of an interesting period because a lot of things are going on, and I feel like they're all going really well. And I want to know what you guys think. What could make this better? What is more interesting? What do I need to talk about? Just tell us all that stuff because let's just say that Mike is. I've just loved all the contact and all the ideas that he has, and I really love where he's going with this whole thing. Love the things that we're doing, but I also love the things that we're doing for Heroes and Miracles, the Colton Vaught, and the Missouri Music Project. So I feel like all this stuff is just going along exceedingly and abundantly well. Love it all. And so now let's wait a few more minutes here for Mike because I had a great conversation with him just before we got on. Can't wait to see him on here because it was really cool to hear his thoughts on what's going on here and what is beginning to happen for him. And so it's just so wonderful to see how just even a couple of weeks can really turn the tables on what everybody thinks and all the stuff that we're doing. I'm just so very amazed. My books are at DaleWiley.com. My podcasts are at DaleWileyShow.com. It's pretty clear that I've not been updating the podcast as much as I should be because there's so many things going on that's kind of hard to keep up with all. But again, I loved the conversation I had with Mike, loving this all, really wanted to keep the momentum going. And so I'm very hoping that Mike's going to jump on here shortly because you got to make sure that Mike knows how big a part in this he has and all the stuff that we're doing. And I just think you couldn't have asked for a better 2 weeks of what we've done. I'm just saying this is going extremely well. And comments? We got any comments? Any ideas about what needs to be talked about? What other Ozarks music topics have we not covered in the first couple of weeks? Tell me what we need to do. Tell me what we could do better. This is free form. You know that my email address is Dale Wiley Show. Oh, there he is. Just in time. Let's bring him up here. There he is. Look. Hello.
Hello, Dale.
Hello. How are you?
I'm making it today. It's
You're now the washboard guy. Okay, that's great.
That's who I am today. Yeah.
You are. That's wonderful. You're every different every day. I love it. But now we can hear each other, and so that's wonderful. And I finally found out what I did wrong. So I know that I won't repeat that.
Yeah. Some days I'm the troll guy.
Are you really okay?
You know, I have that because there was a bank whenever I was like in, oh my gosh, probably first or second grade, where my dad banked, and they were giving those away to their customers. So I've had that a very long time.
Wow.
And I don't have any idea why it's sitting here, but it's just, I think I just hated to put it away. It's been around a long time.
Well, and also, I mean, what we're doing here, I'm just so impressed with what's happened in the first 2 weeks. And I've talked a lot more to Rob Adams, and Rob Adams indicates that your band's name was Rock Bottom.
Yeah, when and that's what I thought. I was thinking about that before I saw you post that,
Right.
and I thought, I wonder if that was the Rock Bottom Band, because we had the school bus, and the school bus had painted down where it would normally say, such and such a town municipal school system or whatever down the side.
All right.
Mine said Rock Bottom Band, and that's when my dad had a car dealership in Mount Vernon.
Right.
And the guys from the band Indian Summer that were from, basically that area, but they were around quite a while. They bought the bus from me. They just thought it was cool. It said Rock Bottom on it. It said Rock Bottom, and then it said 747. Yeah, that's what it said on it. But I thought about that because I told you we did some gig where actually Rob got the bus back to where it was supposed to be, and I remembered the bus, and then I started thinking of the bus, and it said Rock Bottom on it. So yeah, I don't know how many bands Rock Bottom different versions we had, but it was
clearly the important thing. Clearly,
yeah, it was good. It served its purpose.
Well, definitely did. So, what have you been doing today?
What have I been doing?
Yes.
I was out and about yesterday. It's this foot thing I got going on. Make the long story short, where a hospital wanted to take my leg off, and I said, no, that's not going to happen.
Yes.
Now I'm at a wound doctor, and it's pretty much getting healed. It has a little place below my ankle. Right. And so glad I stood my ground. But I'm having to end up at the wound doctor like 3 times a week for them to rewrap it, and then the doctor to see it, and this and that. So that takes up a lot of time. Yesterday I found a music store in Branson that I didn't know was there. There's a CVC, and then there's a sign to get to the State Line Music Store. Okay. Go around to the back. So there's a little music store that, excuse me, that's it looks kind of like beginner's music store with a lot of stuff in there, and the guy said he buys a lot of stuff from some auction online where you can get stuff just really cheap.
Really?
And he's a Luthifer, which is somebody that works on instruments, and they have a cowboy church there.
Okay.
It's 2 buildings. Well, it's one building divided. On one side, every Sunday morning, I think he said 10:30, they have donuts and coffee, and it's a non-denominational, the cowboy church. Right. And they have a stage, and they play music, and they're getting it started. They have about 20 people that show up, and they wanted me to commit to being there Sunday, and I said, yeah, well, if you see me, you'll see me. Okay.
That seems like.
Well, they had a cowboy church in Nashville, and it was pretty huge. I mean, there was a lot of people went there, and they always had really good entertainment, little stage, and they do their gospel stuff. And so this guy that ran this music store yesterday, Steve, he's also a singer, and he's a pastor. And then when I was in there yesterday, some other pastor showed up that had just moved to Branson. Right. So I was stuck in between 2 pastors, both going back and forth. And this pastor, he was, we were glad when he left. He was looking around, and he's like, yeah, I just play Taylor guitars. That's all I play.
Oh, no. Oh, Lord.
And we were laughing because Steve knew I play Takamine. Well, I play a lot of different stuff, but and he was laughing. I said, Steve's laughing there because I play Takamine stuff.
Right.
I say each to his own, whatever you like. Oh, he goes, well, I have several Taylor guitars.
So he was an extreme Taylor snob.
He just moved here and wanted to I guess, try to impress us or something. I don't know.
Right.
He'd been a pastor, but he retired from it. And yeah, I don't know that. And then a gentleman showed up there that does Santa Claus during the winter. Him and his wife.
All right.
Big tall guy, the white hair, the big white beard. Really super nice guy. I've got their card. I should be able to tell you what their name is, but he was awesome. And then the gentleman that owns the building looked like Colonel Sanders.
Right.
And they all knew everybody in town, everybody and what they're doing and where they're playing and who's doing what.
Right.
And they're wanting to do something there. I'm not sure what it is. But they're back in behind a CVS store. There's not even a street there. You just go around and you do not pull in where they're getting their subscriptions or whatever, because if there's a big sign that says do not turn in here, so you turn over in this other little area. Right. And that's anything you're doing, it's got to be in a good marketable place. I don't think but anyway, I met some nice people and found out what a lot of other people were doing here in Branson while I was there.
What did you get out of that? What is the biggest thing you took away from that?
The biggest thing? Well, the biggest thing was when I first moved here, Randy Plummer, his family had a music show here. They were one of the ones back in the beginning, kind of like the Presleys. Right. They were around forever and ever. But Randy's still here. His family moved back to their hometown, wherever that's at. And but when I first moved here, I said, well, I told Randy, I guess it's who you know, huh? And he said, in this town, it's who knows you. I said, really? Yeah, he said, people, they get to know you and they hear of something and they want to call you and have you do something with them. But anyway, so I'll just say the biggest thing I took from that yesterday, I met a gentleman that owns the building. So in Branson, that could mean a lot, somebody that owns something. And especially if they're thinking about remodeling this, because I could definitely sit down and explain to him, man, this is not a good location, And then Steve, the guy that runs the shop, that I guess he's the owner, he does a lot of stuff. He gave me a CD of all of his gospel songs he sings. Right. I haven't listened to it yet. He's probably pretty good. I mean, he talked the talk, and usually if you're doing that, you got to walk the walk. It's. Right. And then the Santa Claus guy was just super nice. Of course, I swear, I tell you what, in the music business, everybody wants to use you for something, because Santa Claus guy was like, okay, hey, about this karaoke stuff. You say you got all that stuff? I said, yeah, I've got tons. PA systems and 480,000 songs on hard drives. And well, how can I get hooked up with that? I don't have no money or anything, but me and Mrs. Claus, we go out and do these parties. And he said, I got some old CDs. And I said, yeah, that's the way, excuse me, that's the way it used to be. Right. I said, now it's just on a computer. You type in the name, punch the button and play it, change the key if you want to. He goes, is that easy? I go, yeah, well, we need to hook up sometime. So I was just nice. I said, well, I can help you somewhere, but it's, that and the guy that runs the thing, he's a luthier for like people that works on guitars and instruments and stuff. So he did a little bit on one of my cigar box guitars that I needed to get done on some frets. Right. And so I think what I brought out of it, I met 3 really good people. Some of them is kind of leaning into the category of full of it, but we all are sometimes. I mean, so it's and Flash, I had a news thing. Well, actually, I went to get on here yesterday, but we got it mixed up because I was going to show everybody these guys. I know. I like to just meet all the people I can. Yes. But I saw from when I played ball, I graduated in '75 at Crane. We had a team that in 74 or 75, we won the league tournament and stuff. It was so funny. I think it's the only thing we ever won. So Coach Conrad was, well, we got to get patches. What size do you guys want? We ordered these patches that are like on our glitter jackets. They were like, oh my gosh, that big. They covered the whole thing, you know. But by gosh, that's all we ever won. So had a real good ball team though. So I saw on Facebook somebody asked Jim Willman. He was one of our players. Jim was very good. And asked him when homecoming was. And he said, it's February 12th. And Bobby Eaton said, wow, we went last year and we might try to be there. And I think Marty Lauer's wife said they have a grandson or somebody that plays.
Right.
And then Jeff Kimes, he said, I didn't play ball, but you guys might need a bench warmer that night, so I'll come. And I said, boy, that'd be cool because I haven't even seen all you guys in all these years. And I get to see you. And then Jim Willman wrote, if we could get Steve Bertram and Jimmy Hilton, we've got the whole starting five there that won the tournament stuff back in the day. And he goes, how cool would that be if we were all just setting up on the same bleachers area, right in this area? So I hope to get to try to do that. I think that would be fun.
Yes, very much so. That's wonderful.
And so I found that out. Maybe that'd be something fun to do. I don't know. Definitely. But I'm a person in life, as we've talked about, I've got some, but we're focusing on a really great idea for an entertainment thing in Branson.
Yes.
It could be put anywhere. It could be put in Myrtle Beach. It could be put in Pigeon Forge.
Or all of them. That's the key.
I've talked to several people that say they've never seen this.
Right.
And, boy, I'm a person, when I get ready to do something, I want to go 100 miles an hour at it and do it. So, you know, if there's anybody ever listening to this and you got some ideas about this, hey, guys, I might be able to help out financially, or I've got some great ideas, or let me know how I could help you. I mean, anybody, this is a neat thing, and it's going to be pretty big because it's never been done in this town. And when I see people in 32 degrees out playing miniature golf in this town, I'm like, man, we there needs to be a few more things going on. And so that's I'd like to. It's been really cool. I've been getting to talk to a lot of people that I played in bands with, that recognized me and called in, or got a hold of you. And oh my gosh, that makes you start thinking about all the people that you've known through the years.
It's so funny because even while we were sitting here doing this, Doug Johnson, who was in the class of 82, subscribed to the YouTube channel. So it's so fun to see everything come together. And I just love how it's all come together. And I love gaining the attention, and I just love the fact that people are interested in what we're doing.
Doug Johnson, I of course, my dad did a lot of business with his.
That's Joey's son.
But I've had some people on Facebook, now that they know I'm around here. Doug Johnson was one of them that just wrote me one day, and he said, hey, your dad was a super guy. And he goes, and he says, I was at his funeral that day.
Yes.
So that stuff means a lot to you, you know. He didn't have to say that, but it's, this is, I think, I don't know. The main reason I'm doing this with Dale, I'm trying to reach out to as many people as I can that that actually see a cool idea and want to get involved with it.
Exactly.
It's a business. If it was just a show, putting some people in a band on stage, I wouldn't even think about it. If it was because I started to move here 2 years ago and do a morning show.
Right.
And marketing on it was going to be pretty good. Instead of a morning show, it was a breakfast show because, lack of other words, I'll say old people, tourists, retired.
Yes.
They get up, the rooster crows, and then they're like, "Hey, let's go get some breakfast and let's go over to that morning show. How's that? And then we'll go shopping. Then let's hit a noon show." And
Yes.
so we came up with the deal. You don't have to go get breakfast. You come to our breakfast show, and you get a bag of donuts when you come in the door.
Right.
Well, guess what? Everybody that got a bag of donuts will probably go out to the concession stand and buy something to drink with their donuts.
Exactly.
And the donuts are made up and have the show's logo on them. And that's how I think. It's just little marketing things.
Right.
And I would still like to do that. Like I said, the guys with their cowboy church yesterday, they said, we would like to end up having an extra building on the side that all the kids that come with their parents to the cowboy church can come over in the side with you.
Right.
And you can do your ventriloquist stuff and some little magic. And, just you don't have to preach to the kids, but just teach them goodness and,
Right.
And that just came from the guy visiting with me and talking. So I kind of have that effect. I don't know, I've watched me on this thing though. I talk way higher than I thought I did. I don't have the deep guy voice. I mean, I'm like, I should be out there singing Journey songs and all, because it's like, on a scale, guys talk right. I'm talking up here. It's
That's just
well, it works pretty good with the puppets, it's like, hey, my name is Ringo Rabbit. Yeah. And I don't have any problem doing those things like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of like a tiger in a cage.
Right,
I want to be doing stuff so bad.
Right.
And it's just figuring out that way to get it done. It's
Right.
It's there. I'm in Branson. I'm seeing. That's why I say anybody get a hold of Dale.
Yes.
Do his show here because it's
Dale Wiley Show at gmail.com. Anybody and everybody, reach out.
Yeah, because people are Branson right now is everybody's preparing for this next season.
Right.
Now, depending on what the pandemic does, depends on what's going to happen with that.
Right.
If the pandemic eases up and everything, this place will be nuts this year.
Right.
It really will.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah, it'll be, and it's, and if you want to do a yard sale, I live close enough to 76 that we can do one right here and get all the, just have a sign out on 76 says turn here, one block. But, yeah, it's, when you're in the entertainment business and you're not done yet.
Right.
Like, oh, well, I used to do all this and
right.
I guess I'm done with that. Yeah, you stay kind of antsy with it,
But the deal is you're not done.
I sent Dale a thing today saying, I don't know if we're getting anywhere or reaching anybody doing this.
And I'm
well, Dale, if you can kick somebody's butt over the internet connection, he did it and said, but see, that's me. We've just been doing this a few weeks, but
right.
I like to do the thing. Yeah.
I'm just telling you, this is so wonderful, and I'm so glad to have you on here, and so fun to have you for 30 minutes every day. So fun.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and cut the stream here. Here we are. And now we're off. So there we are. And I'm just telling you, man, this could not be going any better for less than 3 weeks of doing this. This is all wonderful. And just know how important you are to me and how big a deal this is.
Well, it's same here. I mean, it's great to have a friend that has faith in you
Yes, exactly. And that's one of the things I know that, from talking to you and being around you enough, I know that I need to just make sure that you know how very important you are in the stuff that I'm doing. I'm telling you, this is super important. I'm so very excited, not only with Colton, but with you. I mean, your thing, I think, is going to be the biggest and the first.
Yeah, and exactly what we need somebody that's pretty much a financial person that
Yes,
wants to be involved
clearly.
as the
Yeah,
third silent party, as the
right.
person which walk down this strip in Branson. 9/10 of the buildings down through here have somebody that's paying for that building, and they don't
Yeah.
have a clue what's even going on in it. They know what their return is and when they're going to get it. And I also have this thing on my hat. Where's that? It says Boogie Heads.
Oh, yes,
Oh
definitely.
yes. Boogie Heads is where they have it at Disney, and you put your head on a dancing body and you make a video. And I own one of these. Is about a $20,000 investment, so not everybody's got one sitting around, and it needs to be set in Branson somewhere too. Uh,
Clearly.
it's there. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get done, and of course Dale's down in Crane, and I guess that's where he's at. I don't even know. And I'm hobbling around with crutches for right now. It's not like we're both out doing a track race trying to get somewhere, but that's okay.